Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The boys are back in town. It's Strompcast 247. Just had to take care of some English farmers today, boys. That's just the way she goes. Huge, surprising 4-1 dub over the reigning English champions, Manchester City. I am joined by two of my lovely co-hosts. I'm joined first by Chris. Chris, how you doing today?
I am doing well. Did not expect that result today, especially after just conceding a horrible goal in the first 5 minutes. Was thinking it was actually going to look a lot like the second to last time that we played these guys, the last time at home. But wow, what a turnaround! Definitely, we're fortunate in many respects, but when it's your day, it's your day, and I think it might have been our day.
Today was the day. I'm also joined by my fellow Canuck, Danny. Danny, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm excellent. In fact, after that,
bro was.
I mean,
he's good.
It's just what we do to Manchester City in Europe. If I'm being honest, like if we forget the last time we faced them, which I always do at least. I mean, the last time we faced them, it was 0-0, I should say, but
which was the only game that they didn't concede or didn't score at home all season.
Didn't score at home all season, exactly.
Also, we shouldn't have played them to begin with. We got Juventus that year.
True.
They screwed up the draw. They screwed up the draw, but then they actually realized we did, but we got to do it again anyways. But I'm not bitter still.
Yeah, but it's just what we do. In the past, we did it with Shandong. Now we do it with Gyökeres. Some will say it's a difference in class. Others might not see a difference at all. Those people may be blind or visually impaired, and we respect those nonetheless. But feeling great, boys.
Good stuff. And I am your lovely co-host, Richard Neves. Sam could not be here today, but he is with us in spirit. So follow the boys below, and you can most importantly follow all things Alvalade on X before it probably melts down after tonight. So I don't know. I guess there's some other world events going on today. I don't know. But we will get into the goal point ratings here in a moment. Let me pull up my goal point now and share the screen as we break down a 4-1 win against Manchester City. First off, I'm going to read the lineup as follows. So, Franco Israel at net. Center backs of Zeno the Bast, Ousmane Diomande, and Mateus Reis. Fullbacks of Giovanni Kenda and Maxi Araujo. For midfields of Hillman and Morita. Not a great Morita game today. And then the typical front three of Trincão, Gyökeres, and Pot. A Gyökeres hat trick to round us off. I didn't get to watch much of this game. Busy with work. So I'm going to pass it off to you guys to kind of break it down. I'll probably add my 2 cents here and there. Danny, I'll start with you. What'd you make of the game? What stood out to you?
Brother, I thought obviously we started off extremely slow. Morita, like you said, gave the ball away in midfield, which just led to their goal in the 4th minute. Foden did well to press. Morita was basically asleep at the wheel. Something I've been saying for the last few weeks, I think it's starting to really show. I think the team is much better with Bragança in the midfield than Morita, at least currently.
It's actually going to be a new manager is actually going to probably benefit Morita because,
Yeah, that is true. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, actually, because Amorim still trusts him and Amorim still plays him. So
true, but it's getting
tough.
Right? It's getting tough at this point.
The case, I think, like you're hitting it on the nail on the head. It can be made that it might be time to shift him into a bit of a reduced role in favor of Bragança.
Yeah, 100%, and that's captain, vice captain, right beside each other, by the way, too. If that takes over, right? Mm-hmm. So, but nonetheless, I think he stepped up afterwards. Of course, the mistake is something glaring, but at least afterwards, he didn't commit too many mistakes. After, I thought Maxi Araujo had he had a good game. Don't get me wrong, but an interesting one because that battle with Savio or Savinho. Now I remembered him last year. Was he not Savio?
He's always been Savinho. He was.
These guys, I don't know, because some of these guys changed their names. It's what happens.
He was at Girona last season.
Or at Troy, wasn't it not Troy? Or
he was bought by them.
Okay, got it.
Out. And then so he's Troy's record transfer, but I don't believe he's ever actually played for them.
Fair.
What happened in the game I love?
Nonetheless, he was cooking. At first, he was cooking Araujo in the beginning, and then Araujo started, stepping up a bit. Matheus Reis was helping him out a lot, especially in that first half. Especially after the 1-0, I thought Reis had a really good game. I think better than a 5.4 in my personal opinion.
It's also asking a lot of him because he's clearly still learning that position in real time.
Yeah, you can tell he's still not quite used to
and
that.
he's a better attacker than he is defender. He's basically Jenny at this point last year, though.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny wasn't great defending. Jenny was more, Jenny was getting cooked the odd time too.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, he got cooked, but there was good battles in there where he also won the ball off Savinho as well. So I thought he had a really interesting game. I thought Bot played well. Trincão, I thought he did well in the attack, but lacked that finishing product.
Did win the penalty though, the first one.
Did win the penalty 100%.
Did a great job too. It was a great run by him. I got to watch the highlights at least.
Who was the one that we should have got we could have had a hat trick of penalties today?
That was Jokeres, and it hit I forgot the defender.
He was the one that crossed it? Okay, fair.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, for some reason, I thought
he kicked it, smacked, and hit his hand or whatever, and they didn't even go to look at it, I guess.
Yeah, not even a second.
Which is crazy.
Great. My last 2 points here in terms of individual performance, I thought Kenda was really good. This kid, I'm gonna. If Amorim takes him to United, I'll kind of be annoyed because even if it's next summer, I'll kind of be annoyed. Because,
still be annoyed.
He's so good even at 17. So I can only imagine
he plays beyond a few years, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean defending even he's great. He had great battles with Matheus Nunes, who oddly enough is a right winger nowadays. But
that was a choice.
But he had good battles with Kenda out there, or with Matheus Nunes. I thought Israel and net played fantastic. I thought
he had to be huge. He had to be huge a couple times,
and he was. There was a big save. I believe it's on the first half. I think it's still 1-0 too. Big save on Haaland
volley.
I mean, okay, he didn't even get close on the penalty, but it didn't matter anyways because it hit off the bar.
Right.
Yeah, I thought we played our plan well. Hold back deep and just kill them on the counter. And Gyökeres was just a monster.
His hold up play is,
it's crazy to watch how he does with the hold up play.
Pace, power. That chance in the first half, I was upset, but I was kind of happy. Because it's all right, the spotlight's definitely on us tonight.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And everybody was. This was the game everybody was watching.
And you royally fucked that first chance. Which thinking, I mean, this is Manchester City. We have more XG than City, which is crazy. But this is Manchester City. I was thinking maybe we could get one more chance.
Yeah,
in the second half and try to tie it. But
hold on. We were thinking hold on for scrape a draw. Even last week when we came on the show, we were predicting I had this actually the City win initially, and I changed it today to a draw 1-1.
Yeah,
boy, was I wrong. I've never been so happy to be wrong in my life.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's what you're on the right track though.
On that miss, I even looked at Twitter and some guy from he supports the Farmers League. I think I don't know if he's a United fan, City, Arsenal, I don't know, but he's
a farming enthusiast.
Yeah, farming enthusiast for sure. This guy's cavacara terra mesmo agora. But he tweeted something that was like, you see, this is why Gyökeres needs to prove himself. It was something along the lines of, this is why you don't buy players in smaller clubs.
From small leagues
because
or whatever.
Because of missed chances like this. They're not ready for the spotlight. The spotlight's too big for them. Just for him to slap you guys with a
hashtag old takes exposed.
Yeah. I should have saved that.
You should have screenshotted that and be like, yo, what's up?
His first goal is legitimately unsavable.
Bro, he's better, which pisses me.
There's no way any keeper can get their arm or leg to that ball. It's impossible.
Unless you are Mrs. Incredible, you are not stretching out to get that.
And he's doing this, running at full pace with a guy behind him, and he bangs that in. Okay, I guess it's coming from an angle. It might make it a bit easier, but that first chance, you're one-on-one with the keeper. Nobody's
And
even close.
I see what he
And he
tried to do.
the
He tried to do
spectacular.
that little chip over because Ederson was way off his line. So
I've never seen
the vision.
Yeah,
Gyökeres
it's
tip
tough
it in my
though. He
life.
got too close to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
could
did
see.
get too
I could
close.
see what he was thinking. He's like, okay, he's off his line. I can definitely like if I get it over him, it's in.
He could have
just
probably
couldn't quite get
rounded
it.
him.
Yeah, he probably could.
You can't go wrong with just the blast for him
Yeah.
these days.
You can never
That's what I
go
was
wrong with just
expecting.
playing it safe,
That's what I was
right?
expecting.
Like,
Yeah, but he went for the highlight reel.
he went for spectacular.
The never before seen chip, and it didn't work, but it was all good in the end.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just it's a memory for us, but nobody will even be talking about it.
No
If we
one will ever
lose this
talk
game,
about
maybe
that.
they talk about that. Nobody's talking about that anymore. It's just
But yeah,
just this weird Canadian kid. That's about it.
just these weird Canadians and this American guy cooking that one chance. Chris, do you have anything to add to this game? This was pretty. I'm just reading this guy. Goldbridge is a prat, anyways. English media is full of shit. They can kiss my pasty Canadian ass. Chris, I pass to you.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that we were, consistently very dangerous off the counter. I mean, I think that obviously Man City had stretches of possession, and obviously they carved out some chances. But that's gonna happen, right? You're never going to just have them not have a couple chances. They're too good, right? So it's gonna happen. But I don't think that they deserve to score one or maybe two goals, and I think that we probably deserve more than that. I think that 3-2 maybe it would have been a fair result, but I think that we're still just winners. Gyökeres, honestly, like he had a 10.0 this weekend. This was an 8.2. Like, yeah, there were some moments where honestly I wanted him to be a bit more selfish at times. Just take them on, cut in on your right foot and smash it.
Do what you do.
I mean, there was one in particular in the first half. He actually tried to play like a 35 to like 45 yard pass across from like the sideline all the way to the other side of the 18, and obviously got intercepted. It's like just take him on. Just take him on
and see what happens.
Cut inside on your right foot and smash it. I mean, that's literally you've scored 16 goals probably doing that. So, I mean, I really like your odds when you're doing it, especially when we're not getting that many chances when we're breaking. Sometimes like you're up there alone, maybe one other person is immediately there. So it's like sometimes just go, dude. Just do it yourself. It's a City back line that is, obviously they have some pretty good depth back there, but I think it was still a bit makeshift. It's a bit makeshift, especially for them. And yeah, we made them pay. Coming out in the second half and scoring 2 goals immediately.
In like a couple minutes. Yeah. Well, ridiculous. One, like the first one was what, 40-45 seconds.
The first goal was so well worked. I mean,
wonderful job.
We passed through them, and Rujo finished under the keeper. Thing comes right up and at them, gets the shove. I think the second PK that's called, the fourth goal, is a bit soft. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But he can't overturn it because there is a little contact, and he's called it on the field.
He's called it initially. It's not like it's gone out.
There's not enough. It's not a clear and obvious error. They don't overturn them. In the Champions League, they don't really like to overturn them. I've noticed.
They're pretty
like that
with their decision.
I honestly could see that getting overturned in the Portuguese league, maybe. But they don't go to the VAR and then overturn a pen in Europe for whatever reason.
It's not often they go to.
And if they do overturn it, it usually just comes from upstairs and they do it. Like they're not usually looking at the monitor in these European games, for better or for worse. But yeah, I mean, what a result. Obviously, I don't know if this is a more famous result than our last win against them at home because it was for a knockout round. But I mean,
it's more important the context.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a more famous win, but
it'll be up there.
It's a very famous European night.
It's one of the big ones.
They're not only the Premier League champions, they're the world champions as well.
They're 1 year. They're like what 1 year removed from
They're the
being
club world
European
champions.
champions.
They have that
Like,
gold fucking
exactly.
patch in the center of their kit. So I mean,
like,
it's one of the
To
best
be
teams.
fair to them, they're the best team in the world right now. They're just going through an injury crisis, or else we don't win 4-1 if they're not going through an injury. If they don't have what's his name, Pussy in the back line,
Pussy?
maybe we might win this game.
Yeah,
Not
they
that
started
played
Pussy back
but
there.
Yeah, like
that's
Gundogan and De Bruyne like are like come off the bench because they're only just
Yeah.
coming back from injury now.
great
Right?
luxury to have, by the way. But yeah,
yeah, well, they're regular starters.
Mateus
too.
Nunes is on their wing right now. So
It's a good time to catch them.
yeah, it is.
Bring on
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Arsenal's even better right now.
Another team in
coming.
not the greatest
We're
moment.
coming.
Let's
Exactly.
We're coming for you. Don't you
go.
worry.
We're coming for you.
João
We're
Pereira,
coming.
he's ready.
They've tasted blood before from us. So
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, I mean, relatively recently too.
Like
within the
none of
last
these
couple
Man
years.
City players still remember the taste of the blood from the last time.
But some of the Arsenal guys will definitely remember the last time, for sure.
Yeah.
They've.
They
got
have.
a good core of that team.
I've seen clips of a lot of clips. Well, I mean, of podcasts that I already watch. But there's Arsenal supporters and stuff like that talking about Amorim coming in, and they said straight up they remember exactly a Sporting side playing well against them and beating them in pens. You know what I mean? So
beating them in pens, and we arguably should have beat them in the first leg too.
Yeah, we outplayed them.
We played them over the first leg. The second leg was much closer, but I think the first leg.
But it was in London, to be fair.
Yeah, but everybody was agreeing. But the first leg really. The scoreline should have been another goal or two for Sporting.
Yeah,
that
100%.
time. But yeah, crazy. I don't have much to add. It's a very fitting farewell at the Alvalade for Ruben Amorim.
Yeah.
They got we had the corporate tifo.
It did feel like what he was leaving. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would say last game Sunday, and I'm like, dude, this really feels like
this feels like the last game. I feel like Sunday I feel like this was the big one, and Sunday just kind of we're going through the motions.
Yeah, which is
they better not be though.
I don't know, but which is
no. I think Sunday's gonna be okay. It just won't be the performance that we put on today at home, but
I think it's also because we're not at home on Sunday. We're away, so it's a little bit of a different one. So this felt like the big kind of send off.
I think if because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was waiting for tears. I was trying to see is tears coming? If tears comes, I think it would definitely be Braga because that's like a full circle moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Braga kicked off everything. That's where he won the League Cup at. That's where he came to us from. So, and again, he mentioned it again today in a press conference after the game about Gyökeres. He doesn't want to buy Gyökeres in January. He wants him at the Marquês in June or in May or whatever he said. So this is the more important game. Listen, this is a beautiful send-off for Amorim. It was written in the stars.
Scriptwriters were in their bag today.
I take a 5-0 loss at home for his last game, but a 3-0 win or a 1-0 win. Fuck it. I don't even want to be greedy against Braga because that's what matters. Although, let me just add one last point. And I'm sure I'm wondering if you guys all agree with me and all the 206 people watching. If Amorim doesn't leave, I'm starting this rhetoric because it can never be proven wrong at this point. Sporting's winning the Champions League, guys. I don't give a flying fuck. This team
feels like it could have the makings of something special if he stayed too, doesn't it?
The man would have won the Champions League with us. Who was Mourinho's striker at Porto when he won the Champions League?
Alanichev. Dirklai. Was
I
there.
was thinking it was Jardel for a second. I was thinking it was
Jardel. He had Deco. No, not Jardel. He had but he had Deco. He had Manish.
He had Helton in that.
He had Vitor Bahia in that.
Carvalho.
He had Ricardo Carvalho, Paulo Freire, Jorge Costa. He had a really good team.
I can show you equivalents. We don't have enough time today. I can show you equivalents on those teams.
This team does feel like it's kind of special, doesn't it? Like they could go on to do something kind of crazy and make a bit of a
Hopefully
run
historic.
He's leaving us. Hopefully, he's leaving us in a great position, Champions League wise. We're hoping that they can close out with the win on Sunday, and they can leave us, even just as good position domestically. We'll see what Joao Pereira does. He's definitely got the team. I like the mentality of the team. Hillman was in a press conference, one of the pregame press conferences, and said, he's gone, but our goal is stay the same. We still want to we want to do the double even if he's not here. Because that proves
the mentality is we don't need him.
The mentality is we're a team and we can do this with or without him. We're gonna see what happens. And it wasn't meant to be mean either.
No.
It was just it was just meant to be we know we have the talent. We've done this already once before. We can do it again. We have all the makings that we can do this again, kind of thing.
And at the end of the day, in my eyes, the reason why I'm still remaining confident as well, even with Amorim leaving, is Amorim, at least he doesn't come across this way. He's not one of these managers that he's not like a Jorge Jesus where he's having the controller in his hand and he's yelling at you because you're not doing what he wanted you to do. No, Amorim sets instructions out, he sets the tactics out, but it's how the game evolves. There's reasons why we lose 5-0 in the past. Yeah. Although the tactics are still there, there's reasons why we still lose. He's not like a controller manager.
He's not a micro.
He's not a PlayStation manager.
He's not a micromanager. He's not a football. Yeah. He's not a FM or PlayStation career mode manager. He's more of a player's manager at times. I think. Yeah. I think he's
100%.
He's way calmer than I always thought Jorge Jesus was a good coach, but what he's always lacked is he always had to have the last word in the press.
Yeah,
and I think that just
not even in the press. I'm gonna say in the pitch, there's times in the pitch. I remember you hearing him from the pitch side, and the stadiums are full, sort of thing. He's that kind of manager, So
Jorge Jesus the type of guy to have to get the last word. Jorge Jesus the type of guy to have to get the last word in at the bank teller or in line at McDonald's. He's got to have that last word. Have a good day. Yeah, you too. Fuck you. He's just a crazy guy. Whereas Amorim is more just kind of calm, cool, collected. I think. We're gonna go through the Champions League standings just as everyone predicted. Here's where we're at right now. As I start to pull them up, 1 sec. So in first place, Liverpool with 12 points from 4 games. Sporting sitting in second, stop the bloody count, with 10 points from 4 games. Only the 1 draw against PSV. Man, if they had won that would have been crazy. Monaco, Dortmund, Aston Villa. Man City is right now in 6th. A lot of this will obviously change because some of these teams, as you can see, Villa's got 3 games. Brest with 3 games still. Inter's got to play. Arsenal, who we play next, has to play this week as well. But looking down at some of the teams we've got to play, Arsenal's the next game up. We also have Leipzig, Bruges, and Bologna.
Lille's in the playoff position, which I love to see. Our
Lille's doing very well still. Yeah, Lille's doing very well still.
got another goal today. Jonathan David.
Our guy.
Madrid Celtic lost today, I believe.
Well. Madrid lost to AC Milan today, so AC Milan getting their campaign a little bit back on track with their win. But screws up Real Madrid. Benfica obviously still has to play this week.
Play tomorrow. Against Bayern, if
I'm surprised. Celtic and Dinamo Zagreb doing well early on so far. Obviously, we're only 4 games in. As we look at the rest of the standings,
Zagreb won 4-1 today.
Yeah,
I think.
Wow.
Stefan Rostovsky.
Yeah, but they beat it must be
Cupcake schedule.
That team on the very bottom. What's it called?
Yeah,
Bravo.
Slovan Bratislava.
There you go.
Sporar's former club.
Yes, exactly.
Teams that we still have to play as well. Bologna and Leipzig, very much not.
Bologna lost to Monaco today.
Bologna lost again today.
Leipzig, Thiago Motta.
Leipzig lost again. They are on 0 points.
Yeah. Sturm lost again.
Club Brugge only has 3 points from their 3 games. Now they still have to play this week, so we'll keep an eye on them. But that's one of our last games too. So
yeah,
as it stands, Sporting at the very least looks to be sitting pretty for a playoff spot. They could nick top 8 if they keep.
We could top the table, bro.
They could. Hey man, anything's kept right at anything's possible.
Where are we in the youth league?
Top 8
currently.
UEFA Youth
top
League.
1, bro.
Yeah.
We have 10 points in that as well.
Yeah, because we have 3 wins and a draw as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're top of the UEFA Youth League as well. 3 wins, 1 draw. They beat the Manchester City.
Strompcast not even transitioning that crazy. It's just from one thing to another, baby.
From one win to another, man.
Honestly, it's too easy, bro.
Yeah,
It's too easy.
So that is where we stand right now with the standings.
Google
We'll
doesn't
keep
even
an
have
eye
a
on that.
logo. What the fuck is that, dude?
I know for youth, I think for youth league they just don't like most of those teams didn't have a youth league
Jesus.
logo. But yeah, so I think this is pretty much like more than best case we were hoping. We figured, okay, if we can get seven points out of our first 3 games, which we did, we'll be happy. If we can nick a point off the English boys, we'd be happy. Well, we've nicked 3 off of one of them already. So that being said, that's given them a lot of room to work with now. I think everybody would be very pleased with this dream start. I will say this new format, I'm not speaking just on behalf of sporting fans, it's given us a lot of chaos so far this year. A lot.
It's crazy. Yeah,
I do think you guys
it'll
still
get
gonna
really
see,
weird down the end.
I do think you will still see some of your typical Giants like turn it on at the end. But early on, it's like at the halfway point at the end of this week, like we've got some really interesting.
Here's the thing, bro. If it in the end it actually ends up benefiting smaller clubs more, they will immediately change it back.
Yeah,
they're like, whoa, that's not what we meant. Not like that.
Because that's the point I was gonna.
Brest is getting a bye. Oops.
Yeah.
Can't be letting that.
And Bayern are getting kicked out. No, groups. Run this back. Because right now, imagine 4 games in. Or 3 games, I guess. But let's say Benfica do a match.
3.5 games in.
4 games in. Yeah, 3.5. But let's say Benfica does a mad one tomorrow. 4 games in, Bayern with 3 points. And they
that's
still
crazy. Who would have predicted that?
They still have a decent chance to qualify. Yeah. That's where I'll be like, that's kind of shit.
Yeah.
But if it's the same case, like Brest are through, and you know,
Monaco's
Leipzig, even if
Leipzig's played bad, Lille. Celtic,
look
at the teams even in that playoff position, like Celtic, Sparta Prague, Celtic, Sparta Prague, Dinamo Zagreb, like
we need to get the
you're getting a lot
up.
You're getting a lot of
stuff because with Porto back in this, we can
I guess it is more knockout spots than is normal as well, though. In theory,
there is. So there's the top 8, and then there's the next 16 go to the
as opposed to just 16 before, and now there's 20.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of like
more spots.
It'll work kind of like the Europa League and Conference League have the last couple seasons where you have like a preliminary round of 16, which would be your runners up in the Europa League group stage, and then your 8 Champions League dropouts. And same with Conference League, you get your runners up, Europa League dropouts. It's kind of the same principle. You just don't have that crossover between the cups anymore, which adds a lot of intrigue.
I like that.
I like it. It kind of makes it where
start in Europa League, you finish or if you start in Champions League, you're
in the Champions League. Yeah, I kind of like that. It adds a bit of jeopardy. It adds a bit of jeopardy. Man, we're gonna be so old one day, and like we're gonna tell our kids like I remember when you used to come in third Champions League, you drop down to Europa.
Richard,
fucking won
I'm gonna fuck you up with one more. We're gonna tell our kids about. Oh, I remember away goal aggregate.
I remember the away goals, which no one was ever able to explain away goals to. It's like it's worth more than a goal, but it's not worth 2 goals. So like
it's not worth more. It's only worth more than a goal if it's
away from home.
Yeah. Like if you scored away from home, like if you scored an away goal from home over 2 legs, it was worth more than a goal, but it wasn't worth 2 goals. So we didn't really know what exactly it was worth. It was just weighted heavier for whatever reason.
Yeah, and to this point, I mean, we're beating Man City today. The last time we did, not the last time, but a few years ago when we beat them, I think it was 5-5 on aggregate.
It was away goal. We won. We lost the away game 3-2, but we won the home leg 1-0.
Yeah.
So we got through on the away goals.
That's what it was.
Yeah. See, I remember the dump shot. I could probably tell you the scores from that. I know Matias Fernandes scored 1. Shandell scored at the Alvalade. I know Matias Fernandes scored the big free kick goal. I couldn't.
We also made it to the UEFA Cup final.
On away goals.
Semi-final.
Who can forget Miguel Garcia? Man.
Was that to lose the game 3-2? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
The header late, the stoppage time.
It was either to lose the game or to tie the game.
Yeah,
because I think they had won the home leg 2-1 or something, or but then they needed to get another away goal to go through because as it's fucked. Away goals are fucked, man. We're on a tangent. Man of the match for you guys before we move on to the Estrela game.
They did lose 3-2, but they won 2-1 the first time.
Okay, see, I know all the dumbest shit, man.
So they did. It was to lose.
Information.
It was to lose
To
3-2 instead of
3-2.
lose 3-1, and we went through.
I know so much useless information, man. Like I remember, like I can tell you, like who'd we beat in like the semifinal of like the 2007 Taça de Portugal, probably.
Let's hear it.
I think it was Betamar actually.
Nice.
Because I remember
I was making sure.
I remember my Bavul was planning his trip to Portugal. He's like, "Well, I'm going to the Taça final, the Taça either way, because either Sporting's gonna be there, or Betamar's gonna be there."
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
all right. Man of the match for me was Gyökeres. I assume it's the same for you guys, but I'll let you have your say. Danny, you go first.
Yeah, I try to avoid it. It wasn't even his best game, but it's Gyökeres. Like, how can I?
How do you not give the
led
guy
the attack,
right?
Again, special shout out. I thought Matheus Reis played very well. He won't get the plaudits that he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Plot played pretty well today too. He won't get the
I do want to give a shout out. Franco Rangel looked nervous with his feet,
and that's what I was gonna say.
And he kind of is a little bit at fault for the first goal, but he played great.
Yeah, they say he could have done better on the first goal, but after that, he saved us more than enough.
Yeah. He kept us in the game after that for sure. He made like
100%.
several really good saves.
Before the 1-1, it could have easily been 2 or 3 0. So
yeah, he makes a couple saves on Holland as well. So
yeah,
Chris,
but it's Gyökeres.
Chris, who do you have as your man of the match?
I'm gonna go Israel, honestly.
Oh,
yeah, fair.
That's fair though. That's fair.
His stock is rising in my eyes. Again, I'm sorry, but if Kovacevic is in net in this game, it's not 4-1.
It's not for us. It might be 4-1, but not for us.
Yeah, so it's I mean, the debate is over, honestly, and we're gonna need to find a solution for him because having him on the bench is pointless as well. We need to see if he can play.
Yeah,
loan his
ass.
4
million, if I'm not mistaken.
Loan his ass out, and if he sucks, we gotta offload his ass because what the fuck?
We have enough. We have enough keepers in the youth teams now too. We have Dilkalai. We have.
I don't think that's gonna happen in January, and nor should it. But in the
I could see it happening next, like before next, like in the offseason.
We need to sign another keeper. Try again.
No, but we can. I think
unless Kalai's ready for the backup role, but maybe
realistically, he's only going to play Taça da Liga, Taça Portugal at best.
Yeah, or they sign another, like Solin type guy.
Yeah,
just a guy you can kind of throw in here and there who's fine, who's happy.
I don't mind that either because at least loan out the kids, but they haven't even loaned out Kalai, so it's like.
Well, they loaned him out last year in the second half of the season.
To fade out.
But I'm saying this year.
Yeah, this year.
With already having 2 keepers there, you think like.
Yeah. You think this would make more sense to loan him out. Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's fair. We move on to the game from Friday. Estrela de Amadora. 4 goals for Victor Gyökeres. Took it personally when people were like, "Yeah, you're not going to score." Who was it that said he's not scored in 2 games against? He goes, "I bet." So lineup was
his last 2.
7 goals. He's at 23 goals this season. To put into perspective, it's November the 5th. He scored 42 all of last season. He's already on pace to smash that.
But
I've seen the Liga Golden Boot winner get under 20 before.
Yeah, me too.
18,
he might win Europe. We're gonna check out. He's
at 16. I know he's at 16 in the league. And I've seen a Golden Boot winner with 18 before, and it's November. So
he might win the European Golden Boot if he keeps up this pace just in the league alone.
Please don't leave in January.
He's not gonna leave.
No, I think he's
not gonna leave.
I think he stays.
Just permanently? You're just going to sign a lifetime deal?
Yes. Yeah, you betcha. Lineup was as follows for Estrela de Amadora. Israel in net, Debastio Monde and Inacio. Fullbacks of Kanda and Arujo. Midfield duo of Hulman and Bragança. Pot, Trincão, and Gyökeres as the front 3. We had subs of St. Just, Morita, Edwards, Matheus Reis, and Conrad Harder. Chris, I'll start with you. What did you make of this game? It was pretty much just a kind of a goal fest.
It became a goal fest. I kind of thought Estrela de Amadora were a bit unlucky in this game, especially in the first half, kind of before the goal fest started. They honestly did not play us like a lot of teams play us especially at home. They
Especially
definitely pressed higher than most teams do. And it kind of worked, I'll be honest. So maybe we will see this strategy replicated more often. I don't know. Maybe not. But it was interesting to see the high press actually work. They created some chances. I definitely thought they actually could have taken the lead 1-0. They had several big chances. I think 2. They did cut it to 2-1 before half, and I was like, honestly, that was kind of a deserved goal, even though it was kind of weird.
It was a weird.
Kind of thought he was offsides as well. But it stood. I honestly,
it felt like 2-1 at half was kind of a fair.
It kind of felt like a fair result. Yeah, it definitely felt like they deserved a goal. We were obviously pretty dangerous, to be honest. But yeah, it was kind of like the Famalicão game in the sense where it was tough sledding for probably about 60 minutes of it. Which for the Portuguese league, I mean, I think we have 10 wins in 10, right, to start.
Yeah.
I think these have been our 2 hardest games, honestly. And they've been our last 2 games. So, I mean, we will drop points eventually.
At some point. Like,
I'm guessing. I mean, I don't think that we will go 34-0.
Be cool. Be really cool, but
I mean, I guess it's possible that we're invincible. Maybe we'll have a.
Remember, we did come close the first Amadora season. They came close. They had that loss to Benfica at the end, and then they won against Marítimo. But yeah, that was their only loss of that whole season in the league. So
maybe dropping points doesn't even necessarily mean we're gonna lose. But it will probably happen soon enough. I'm guessing that it will probably be as a result of something like this. I think this strategy works better. I truthfully would appreciate more teams doing it. It does open up more space, but if you can get us under pressure, I mean, you saw today, press in the first 5 minutes, we're turning the ball over multiple times. I mean, we might be slightly susceptible in that regard. So yeah, definitely something to look out for. But in the end, people were clowning on the Estrela defender because obviously Gyökeres has more eyeballs on him now.
Yeah.
And especially with the Ruben news, Spotlight's been on us for about a week or two.
Well, we've been getting a lot of outside media attention.
So they were all shitting on the Estrela defender for selling out to try to stop the shot. It's they're like, oh, these defenders in the Portuguese league are so bad. Wait till he gets to the Prem. I have seen this just the most arrogant comments.
Yeah. Oh, it's been awful. Some of the English media.
It is so bad. It is so fucking
I'm sorry.
bad.
If there's anybody who's a big Prem fan, I'm sorry, but some Prem fans in section that media, you guys are so disrespectful.
I genuinely think that they genuinely think that that he's playing in the Conference North. He's doing it against Manchester City.
They think he's playing. I think they think this is the Bannerama National League.
Yeah, dude, it's
level.
But here's the problem, I think, too, is it's not even that they don't watch the championship. They don't watch Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. They don't watch those little teams do the same shit that Estrela is doing. Sure, those teams are a bit better, but I mean, if you have millions pumped into you,
I'll be honest,
Estrela just got up 2 seasons ago, So,
yeah,
bro. Having Gyökeres run at you for 80 minutes
is just
and never getting tired, and even when the score's 4-1, he's still doing
running.
It.
There are stop. He's already dead.
There are multiple times this season where I've genuinely felt bad for defenders on the other teams because I'm
last year.
Bro, he's not stopping.
Bro doesn't.
They're
your feelings.
When you're playing and you're down big, your legs, you can tell your legs to run as fast as you can, but they just don't move as fast. Your brain overrides it, and you can only get to 85%.
Yeah.
So it's when that's happening, and also just a human tank is running at you, like you're fucked, you know.
It's over. It's game over.
Whether you play for Estrela, Farense, Bournemouth, Brighton, like it's
You have a guy just running
he's
you
going to
rampant
wear
the
you
whole
down no
game.
matter what country you're in, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I will not miss the English press that we've had the last couple weeks. Just like some of you guys are just
Take
Especially
him
the
and
press.
get
this
the
isn't
fuck
all.
out of
This
here.
isn't all the press. This isn't for all the fans, but there's been a small subsection that has been very arrogant and very disrespectful at times, and it's just you wonder why. There's a reason why English media and fans get a bit of a reputation around Europe, and just for some of the antics and stupid shit and just uninformed nonsense that we had to hear from some of them this week.
Yeah.
Danny, I pass off to you. What did you make of this game?
Yeah. Not much more to add. Like Chris said in the beginning, they pressed us really, really well. I thought Estrela was the better team. Even I won't say for the saying they're the better team is harsh to say, but only because of the standards that have been like accustomed to. They were a better team than what we were expecting.
Was it at home as well?
And at home too, fair enough. And there was something in the air as well. Like obviously the players seemed nervous. The players must have been aware. I don't know if it's the attention because of like all this English attention that we're getting.
I think it's just a lot. It's just a buildup
of a combination
of a lot of things,
everything.
Right?
Worried about the manager maybe, although by then, like it had just been announced that he became the manager. The night before it wasn't. He was just saying, "Oh, let's leave this off for the next day." I'm sure they had known by then. Though,
yeah, because he said, "I'll tell you guys after the game
tomorrow."
Friday."
Yeah,
and then Friday morning it leaks. It's like
what
the fuck?
I literally, which is crazy. I woke. I don't tend to wake up to like soccer news anymore, bro.
Awful.
I woke up at 7 a.m. I'm like rubbing my eyes. United have announced them. What the
bro? I went into work and one of the guys at work, he's a big Liverpool fan. He just gave me a pat on the shoulder. He goes, "It's been a rough week, hasn't it?" I'm like, "Man, I don't even want to talk about it, Dave." I'm like, "Thank you." He goes, "Man, I thought of you when I saw that news. I'm really sorry to hear."
But listen, if we're gonna keep getting results like this, I mean, not conceding would be a lot better. But if we're gonna keep getting results like this, yo, João Pereira, you can fuck off 2 weeks later too, bro. If it's gonna mean we're gonna win 5-1 after, replace you with. I know he's no longer at the club. Replace him with Felipe Silicaya. He gets replaced in 2 weeks. Another 5-1 win.
Felipe Silicaya seems to have accomplished the rare task of being the only manager to fail with that group of players.
Yeah, crazy.
Well done.
Did he not come from like Shakhtar's senior team too?
I have no clue. I
don't think he was ever the senior manager, but he might have been an assistant on the team.
Or like a coach or something. Okay, fair enough.
Assistant to the regional manager kind of shit.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I mean, other than that, we played really well after once the first goal really came. They made it sweaty for us for a little bit, but we have Gyökeres. There's no problem. Shout out to the United fans that were watching especially from the beginning and seeing Nani hug Amorim and then Nani come in.
They're like, damn, I forgot. They're like, damn, I forgot Nani was even playing. I'm like, yeah, no kidding.
The meme that's like for oh my god, what's his name now? The Arsenal legend, Ian Wright. Where Ian Wright's like, I thought you were dead.
Yeah,
that must have been what United fans were thinking.
Yeah, Ian Wright turned around and see like the teacher that it was like. He was so fond. I was like, I thought you died, man.
I thought you were
dead.
Miguel Lopes was sadly not able to participate.
But that Nilton guy was from Belenenses, if I'm not mistaken. He had a decent game.
Yeah.
And Jovan was out there as well.
Yeah,
special shout outs to I forgot this player existed, Alan Ruiz.
Yeah, he came in late as well.
I forgot he was in Estrela. I thought he was still in Europa before he came on.
I forgot that was a player.
He actually played well last season.
Yeah, but that's a player. I'm like, man, I almost blocked you from my memory. I forgot like you were a dude. You're one of the dudes of all time. Like you were here. That's crazy. I don't have much to add to this game. It's a 4-1. It's a 5-1 win.
I do hope they stay up.
I'd like to see. I like them.
I like them.
Yeah, I'd like them to stay up.
We
I
need
was a
more
big fan.
teams in the central southern region as well. So
Yeah, it's all like in the north. You get like your one southern team.
yeah,
and then, like,
the second
one
division
island
right
team.
now is like 90% the north. It's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
fucked.
crazy because all the most of the big cities though are in the north. That's the problem. There's like no cities past Lisbon outside of like in Algarve
Yeah, and
that
like
have like
also
enough
like
people.
a lot of the teams that are like not from the north in the second division right now are like kind of struggling. I feel
Borderline
really.
bankrupt.
like Lady,
That's the problem.
who
Yeah.
got back up, who climbed back up, would suck to
Yeah.
see them down again.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Alverca,
the
Mazda,
Nats was out there.
Ultimanis
I mean-
and shit. Like every team.
Oyanins is like in ruins.
Yeah.
And they're like the
Yeah.
biggest club in Algarve, and they're in like
we need
ruins.
to build back a central, man, and the
Yeah,
south.
man. We got a lot of north. The only northern team I care about is fucking Beta Mar, and they're in the fucking doldrums. Like,
Speaking of, my dad just came back from Portugal. For those who are watching for the first time, I'm from Aveiro as well, like Richard. I live, or the house where my parents built before coming here is at least for my dad a 10-minute walk from my house to the stadium.
to the new one.
To the new one, to the one built in
The
2004
Municipal,
where
yeah.
they're still playing.
Yeah.
My dad, I was like, "Oh, did you catch any games?" He was out there for 2.5 months. "Oh, you catch any games, Sporting games?" He's like, "Oh yeah. I seen a Beta Mar game." I was like,
nice.
"Oh, how's the He was like, "I watched all the Beta Mar games." I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, okay. Like, how's the stadium doing?" Because I had an uncle that would like clean up the
I'm
stadium.
afraid to hear. I'm afraid to hear.
He was like, "Oh no, not at the stadium, on TV."
Oh,
What's wrong with you, bro? You
essa merda da televisão, caralho.
could have watched it here on TV, bro. What's wrong with you?
On like the
You watch it
local
here,
channel.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess it was
whatever
on the local
freaking
channel. I
channel.
don't know what the hell was going on. Yeah.
Canal 1 sometimes shows those
Funny.
random games,
Fourth
but
division.
not often.
Yeah, they do sometimes. Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta like watch that shit like on a busted ass YouTube stream from like the team or something.
Yeah, sometimes they do that as well.
Or
Yeah,
if
it's not
you
till-
have
it's
one
not
of
till
those
you get to, like,
boxes.
It's not till you get to Liga 3 where like you start actually seeing those games like Canal 1 and Sport TV and stuff will
Which is
show
good,
the
I
odd
guess.
one.
Sometimes
But
I
it's
feel
a
like
lot
Liga
like
3 has
Division
more
2.
broadcast than
Than
second
Liga
division.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
I low key do feel I feel like I see way more Liga 3 stuff than Liga 2 stuff.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like Penafiel's in second, bro. There's like not that much talk about it.
Nah.
It feels cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking. Not much else really going on. I will get into predictions. Then I wanted to break down some of the stuff from the press conference on Friday because there were some fun tidbits there. But let me get my screen share set up for predictions. Monster week last week from Sam and I. So we're gonna go through here. Danny lacking, no points.
It's been a
Chris
stressful week.
I got
Chris
fucked on the
gets 2 points. Me and Sam cooked. He was so close to the exact score.
5-0, damn.
Bro, but let
5-0.
me also just say
Crazy.
a week before I was putting down these 4-0, 5-0 wins.
Nothing
or
happened.
5-1s win. Now that I'm
Nothing.
not predicting, it doesn't come to my mind.
They
to do
start
this.
cooking.
They're cooking.
They're cooking. Yeah. Sam gets 3 of the Jokeris goals. He doesn't get the fourth
Nice.
one. And he gets the result for the win. I get 2 of the 4 Jokeris goals and the result. But no one gets the exact scoreline for that one. And then we go to the Champions League today. You and Chris both lacking. Really didn't make much of a difference because Sam and I really didn't do anything. He got 0 points. I only got the 1 for the goal scorer because we both predicted a draw. Standings are as follows. Danny, you're sitting just the 1 point behind Sam, though. He did leapfrog you because of that wicked week last week. You're at 22, Sam at 23, kind of sneaking up on Chris, who's got 27. And then I've built back up my lead up to 39 in first place, but the season is still young. There's still time. Like we saw a couple weeks ago, Chris was cooking. You know, all it takes
Now
is
I'm uncooking.
You're not cooking. You're cooking with 9. What is brother cooking?
Yeah, I'm just cooking slow.
All it's
Food
gonna
is in the
take-
fridge currently. It's in the fridge right now.
Food's still at the store. He still hasn't picked up his ingredients.
Yeah.
All it takes
I'm
is
just
like
burning the
one
shit out of the bottom of an empty pan.
He just
And it's
threw
like
a can on
smoking.
the
The
stove.
shrapnel's like smoking
Yeah.
a little.
He just took a can of something, put it on the stove. He didn't even put it in that shit in the pot. But all it takes is like one monster week, from someone, and you're right back in things. Like, it doesn't take much in this thing. But that's predictions right now. We had some fun tidbits from the press conference from Varandas. First of all, he was feeling himself in this one. He was feeling a little funny. It looks like he got like some skin tags or something removed. He's like, I know what y'all are thinking, wasn't from the negotiations for Manchester United, those were okay. I had to get some stuff done medically. We're all good. He was feeling himself. I liked how he fielded the questions like, did you think the players were nervous? He goes, oh yeah, for sure. You can tell Victor Gyökeres was real nervous for this game after scoring 4 goals. So I just thought it was a funny little press conference from Varandas. Did anything stick out to you guys from the coach's press conference or from the president's press conference? I'll start with you, Danny.
A few things.
Go for it.
First, I want to ask you guys how you feel about Amadora saying that this was going to be his last year regardless.
We kind of all felt that. I think it was just.
How long was on his contract though? Because I seen some like talks about that on Twitter.
He had another year after this
one, right? I think it was until 2026.
Yeah, but I think everybody kind of figured this was probably going to be his last year, anyways. I guess it was just because we actually heard it from him, which kind of which kind of still hits you a bit. But
I think it was shocking to hear him say that, because I mean, like I would have thought this would have been his last season. To be fair, I thought last year was just going to be his last season.
We said that going into last year too. We felt that might be it. So it was different. I guess it hit because we actually heard it, right? Like he confirmed what everyone was kind of thinking, but like wasn't sure about. So
I liked that. They didn't really make it clear. I'm not sure if it was an Amorim thing or if it was more of like a direction thing, but I think that this was, out of this whole thing to happen, the best case scenario was him seeing out these last games before international break.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have this international break to sort of make this as an excuse for him to then go. It's a clean slate at this
That's
point.
what we kind of said was the best case scenario to Pod to go.
It also gives like whoever the new coach is, we assume it's João Pereira. They haven't announced anything, but that's kind of where we're leading.
They pretty much said it though.
They pretty much said it without saying it. It gives them some time to kind of get acclimated to most of the squad a bit. You're not thrown to the wolves quite right away, which is nice. Gives them some kind of like your probationary period almost.
I'm glad that this was sort of like a planned thing too, in the sense where it's not João Pereira, like he was sort of mentally getting prepared for this job then in this case.
He wasn't expecting it till the end of the season.
So I'm not mad at that. I like this press conference, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Amorim, he's always been open and direct, and this was no different, like I was sort of saying, it's tough for him to come out and say exactly what's happening in the middle of a negotiation, right? So I understand where some frustrations could have came from the fans, but especially after
I thought he handled
Friday.
himself well.
Yeah, also the rumor that the two clubs that paid his release clause were Aston Villa and Al Nassr. Dude, imagine if he ended up coaching Ronaldo, bro.
And Al Nassr.
I seen a thing today where it was like, I think some English guy, I forget, but some actual pundit like of a worthy name. He said that with Amorim now going to United are likely to get another Cristiano Ronaldo return. And like
bro, he wasn't even
he didn't even want him at Sporting. You want him at United?
He wants him at United? No.
Yeah, they should do
Ronaldo didn't just burn that bridge. He friggin' like everything.
No matter what, he got them to install new jacuzzis at the training ground.
Facts. Yeah. But other than that, in terms of Friday, the press conference, I mean, there's no denying it, bro. I fucking love that guy. It's like I said many pods ago, it's gonna break my heart when he goes to Benfica in hopefully 20 years from now when he's completely washed.
In a decade,
like Mourinho. If they get like the equivalent of what Mourinho is now, even though I'm loving Mourinho and him beefing with everybody in Turkey,
anybody that
everybody in Turkey
say anything.
It's gonna break my heart though in like about hopefully 20 years, inshallah. But inshallah it doesn't happen. But man, I love the guy, and Friday was like the cherry on the cake in terms of how he handled even the fans being upset at him. This whole situation that's happened.
And he even said like I can understand why some fans would be upset.
Yeah, he said today
he wanted to stay till the end of the season, and United said it's now or never.
Exactly, and he even said for today, whether we win or lose, I normally leave early. I'm not leaving early. I'm applauding off my fans and listening and taking in what I have to
taking
take
it
in.
in
If they're
one
mad
more,
at
taking it in
me,
one more time.
I'm taking that in. Like, it is what it is. And
no, I respect
even that
him for
attitude, even though he doesn't deserve it. I love the attitude that he came in with that. So
no, he had such a good attitude. It's an attitude I think everybody would like their coaches to have, ideally.
Of course.
I think you summed it up pretty perfectly, Dan. Like, I sad to see him go. You can absolutely be a little annoyed because of the timing and everything, but you also he's getting a crazy offer, right? Like, it's tough. You put yourself in his shoes, it's tough to say no.
Yeah.
He's getting, maybe I wouldn't want to take a United job, but it's also like, man, if you're successful there, you're a god. Like, look at you look at Jurgen Klopp at like Liverpool, let's say. If he even has like half of that success, he's gonna be worshipped to the end of time at United, right?
And like he said on Friday too, and this is my last point on that press conference, is he says, like, people talk about the context. He wants that context. It's not the exact, because it's just Sporting on a bigger microscope.
It's a bigger scale and a way bigger microscope.
Bigger microscope, bigger budget, bigger everything.
Yeah.
And he's coming into it the same way he left Braga to come to Sporting, is a very similar way where he's leaving Sporting and coming to United. The main difference is at Braga, they were not overachieving, but they were doing well by staying in third, winning the Taça da Liga, and that's huge for Braga. Whereas with us, we're here for 4 years. You're doing, I mean, it's already been historical as it is, and now you're about to challenge for a Bicampeonato and the Champions League. So it's unfortunate that this all happened, but I get it at the sense,
Such is life.
It is a good opportunity for him, regardless of how shit United are. He turns that around, and he's easily in the conversation for like the best managers right now, and depending on how long he can stay, like doing what he's doing at Sporting,
potentially,
he can easily be like one of the better managers in history. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Of course, a long way to go, but at United, you have, with the status of the club, you can have that status as a manager. So
yeah,
I hear it. I get it.
Absolutely. Chris, what do you make of? Do you make anything of kind of the press conference? Anything else that stood out to you specifically that we haven't already mentioned?
Not really. I think that the whole situation was handled about as well as it could have. It's obviously not going to be an easy situation. People are going to be unhappy at you one way or the other. You obviously have to kind of juggle saying obviously this is the reality of the situation. You can't really say no to this without actually saying that, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It was handled about as well as it could have for what was happening, which is a bigger club stealing our coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope that we can continue on the trajectory we've been on, and it will obviously be very difficult to do that. But
it's not impossible. But
we're here for the ride.
Yeah, not impossible, but it's a challenge for sure. But he's leaving us in a pretty good spot, it looks like, and we're hoping that we can close
Herança pesada, as they used to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're hoping that we can finish off with a win against Braga. I'll actually get both of your predictions shortly. One second.
Before I forget this weekend too.
Trying to help you guys stay.
Herança pesada, but this time the pesada is like a different sort of weight.
Yeah.
It's a different weight. Is diamonds, bro. It's heavy.
Yeah. It's the weight of gold right now, rather than the weight of coal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Birds.
All right, Danny, I'll start with you. Your predictions for the game against Braga on Sunday afternoon, a rare Sunday afternoon game. We haven't really played a lot of Sunday games this season.
Yeah. Braga's in decent form right now, too.
Yeah.
Every time we play Braga, I have to give the shout out to Dave Pereira. Love that guy.
That's our boy.
We've been conceding goals, too, so I won't go 3-0. I'll go 3-1.
Okay.
I'm going to go with...
That's reasonable.
I mean, surely he won't be... Surely he won't be scoring a brace this game, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to score a hat trick. No, I'm going to put Gyökeres as a brace. And who loves a goal against Braga?
What?
Yeah. Own goal.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Diomande. Just try it. So then he tries to force a move in January because who knows what's gonna happen.
Chris, what are you thinking?
Is this the trip up game? Is this the trap game?
I hope
Especially
not.
after
all the fun that we just had
especially
today.
after the guard of honor
Yeah.
that occurred tonight.
Yeah.
It's tough to bet against us though. Even on the road against a team that is certainly trending in the right direction as well.
Yeah.
2-1 win.
All right.
I like it.
Your goal scorer or scorers.
Jokeres and Trincão.
Ooh, little Trincão against Braga.
I know Sully or he celebrates. That's an extra bonus point. Let me also just mention that right now.
Celebrates.
All right. I'm going to go 2-1 as well, but I'm going a Jokeres brace.
I like it.
Times 2. Sam can fit. Oh, I don't want Diamante. I'm out of that. I don't want this crap here. Away. All right. That is predictions. Is there anything else we're missing from today, last week, newsworthy that we could think of that we haven't covered yet, lads?
We slightly touched it, but the youth team beat City as well 2-0 early in this morning.
They did.
Watched a bit of the game. They play a 4-3-3, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I don't watch too much of them, but it's sort of lined up like a 3-4-3 nonetheless. I know a lot of talk's been happening with the formation, so it's going to be interesting to see. But that's my 2 cents. Other than that, I know there's a few modalities and stuff like that.
Basketball's
back.
Yeah, any
Basketball
other
won.
Back to winning, I should say.
Yeah, they won this weekend. They won the last 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Got scraped again in Europe. They're 1-4.
They're not looking great.
1-4. So they need to win their last game and get help in the other one, and then also get the goal difference or the point difference, which I haven't even looked at, to be honest, because I don't think they're going to go through, because I don't even think they're going to win the game that they need to win and just be 1-5, and it's not going to matter. But if they start winning, I will look into it, I suppose. Handball has lost back-to-back now in Europe, Champions League, which is fine. They're still in decent position. They're in like 4th, which is fine. There's still a lot of games to play. They're at like the halfway point. Women's footy won this weekend. For some reason, the women's league will just randomly not have games for like 3 weeks for some reason.
Yeah, but like what the hell?
Not enough teams.
Oh, you know what? No, there was
an international
break.
Oh, right.
Okay, so that explains one of the 3 weeks.
That's why, because there was an international break and they had like 1 or 2 games. So
so they somehow hadn't played for like 3 weeks, so they won in their first game back, and futsal won as well. I don't think futsal's lost yet in the league, but there's only been like 4 games as well, or something like that. They got drawn for their elite round of the Champions League futsal. Yep. So this is the one where you top your group, you're in the final 4, and Braga is in our group.
Oh, so familiar foe. That's been a past the last year or 2. So
so that'll be interesting.
The old Benfica coach, so they're decent, right?
Yeah, they're a good team.
So that'll be interesting nonetheless. That's not for a couple months though. And handball beat Porto.
Yes. Big handball win against Porto.
They won by 1.
Yeah.
So I think they're 10-0 in the league.
Whether you win by 1 or you win by 100, you've won the game.
They're undefeated in the league. And also roller hockey had a fucked up incident.
I didn't see this.
They are obviously defending European champions.
Yeah.
And they just got knocked out in the qualifying round. So they are not. They did not even make the group stage. They lost to Barcelos. It was a group of 3. You're in a group of 3.
Old Costa Liga
Top
style.
1 goes through. You play 2 games. They went 1-1. Barcelos went 2-0, and they're out of Europe.
Oh, they got done old Costa Liga style.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they're not even going to be defending their title, which is definitely a bit disappointing.
That's crazy. Okay.
I can't remember a season recently that we weren't in the group stage. For the WSE Champions League is what it's called.
I couldn't tell you.
Champions League. So yeah, it's definitely disappointing, but guess we got to definitely win the league now.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't even clue into that. Yeah, holy, that's crazy. I think that's everything, boys. I think we've covered all we need to cover as we round up the show here. We will be back probably next week to discuss the final game of the Ruben Amorim era. And we might even get into a bit of Seleção talk as international break, as the next international break's coming up.
Jesus Christ.
What's the call up again? It's soon, no? Like the next
Probably
few
next
haven't
week
seen it.
then.
Probably
like
like
it should be this week, no?
It should be this week.
The next game's the 15th.
Yeah.
Which is
So
in
it
10
should be
days.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be coming in probably end of this week, I would think.
All right.
End of
So
this week or
really
beginning of
quick
next
before
week.
we sign off.
Yeah.
Well, he's out injured, but Inácio Pot Trincão Kenda. Anybody getting called up for the Portuguese team?
Inácio's been hurt.
Big fat no for me.
Maybe
Don't know.
Trincão?
Trincão, maybe.
It depends if you want
He deserves it.
he kind of shuffles, it seems like, where it's like you miss out on one and then you're back in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Trincão, I wouldn't shock me if Kenda went.
Didn't make the last one, right? So he might be getting back in, but I don't know if he like wants to pick Neto instead.
Neto's been on good form too. To be fair,
Neto's been on good form.
Conceição's been playing well for Juve too.
So
I
yeah,
don't think is getting it.
I don't know who he's gonna go with.
I think if Pot had been healthy the last little bit, he probably would have.
Well, had a sneaky good game today. We didn't talk about him.
He had a sneaky good game. He had an assist.
He
had an
created a
assist
lot of
today.
chances.
I will say as well, I wouldn't necessarily shock me if Kenda went up because he's just been kind of very consistent. So it wouldn't be the most surprising thing if he ended up on his radar again.
He still hasn't played yet, has he?
Yeah, he has.
No, he's not.
Didn't even make the bench.
So he's due for an appearance.
But I don't know. Point. Also, the U21s, I don't know if they're playing like an important game or not. So maybe he gets called up there, like the last time that happened too.
They might.
Maybe.
I don't think they are because I think they're already qualified the last round. Remember, they were celebrating in the.
So it might be
it
might be a kind of a rotated U21 team.
Yeah,
anyways.
or they just might be the end of the games. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see the call ups this week, and we'll get a better idea, obviously, of what's going on
for sure.
But yeah, so that's been us. I've been one of your faithful Canadians, Richard Neves. For Danny Saldana, Chris Oliveira, and for Sam, who could not be here, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week, like I said. Most importantly, follow us, all things Alvalade, AT Alvalade, down below. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming to join us. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us. Thank you, peace, and viva Sporting. Viva.
La 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 lo.
All right, good shit, boys.
Oh, are we still live? I thought I pressed end.